There we go. Okay, Liz, take it away.
You know, all of them numbers are more than.
Gosh, so many people arriving.
Thank you. I'm so used to Teams that the Zoom thing. So can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. My name is Liz Gonzalez. I'm a librarian here at the R.H. Stafford Library in Woodbury with Washington County Library. Um, I just wanted to mention a few things. I will be sending all of you an email with the link to the class, a link to the recording of the class, which will be available for 2 weeks, I believe. Um, and I will be getting that to you in the next day or two. Um, and I also wanted to mention that next Thursday, a week from now, we will be having the second Canva class, Canva 2. So if you haven't already signed up and you're interested, we'll go ahead and do that. We have plenty of space. And I think that's all I have to say. I'm going to turn it over to you, Jane.
Thank you, Liz.
Mhm.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Jane Stobbie Keer. I'm from a company called Keer Keer Creative here in Woodbury, Minnesota. I'm the creative director and founder at Keer Keer Creative, and I am a graphic designer and a web designer and a digital marketer, among other things, among many other skill sets. And it is my pleasure today to bring Canva to you. And we're going to get started learning the basics of Canva today. We're going to go for 1 hour until 2 o'clock. And we're going to start off by going into a presentation by so I can give you some kind of groundwork and information about Canva. And we're going to dip in and out of the presentation. We're going to go into Canva. I'm going to demonstrate to you, and then we'll go back to the presentation, and then we'll go back to Canva. And we'll go through until about 10 to 2, at which point we're going to open up the floor for open mic Q&A. So if you can save up your questions for then, at that point you can unmute your mics and ask questions out loud or even put them in the chat if you like. You can put questions in the chat as we go too, and we'll just come back to them when we do Q&A at the end. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. So bear with me a moment while I go into my PowerPoint. So welcome to Canva for Small Businesses, Part 1, presented by myself, Jane Stobbie Keer. Let's look at our agenda for today. Let's look at what we're going to go through. So we're going to start off with an introduction about Canva and its capabilities and the benefits of using Canva for design tasks, and an introduction to the Canva interface as well, so we can just get oriented with the online app. We're going to look at editing for photos. So we'll do some basic moves like crop, resize, rotate, and flip. We're going to touch on brightness and contrast controls, but we'll do that more in part 2. We'll also look at adding text and filters. And as we do this, we're actually going to go through an exercise. We'll create a social media post, and I'll show you how to use the templates inside of Canva to create a post. It's really great for social media posting, by the way, really great. After we've looked at those functions and our social media posts, I'm going to show you how to create a logo in Canva. So we're going to look at the basics of logo design and go over some kind of groundwork on that in the PowerPoint. And then we'll go into the logo maker tool in Canva, and we will actually make a logo and learn how to edit it, etc. Then we're going to touch on Canva for web design, in which we're going to look at creating a basic website layout using one of their templates. And Canva is all template driven. So we're going to explore the how delightful the templates are in Canva. And it's what really, at the end of the day, it's what really empowers you to create really good art without having an undergrad degree in graphic design, because the templates in Canva are so awesome. and they're so well designed, and there are so many of them that you can pick the one you like and just edit it and end up with great artwork straight away. So we're going to look at web design, and we'll touch on the end too on doing some business cards as well. And I'll teach you how to share your work as well, and even print it out if you want to, go print your business cards. So let's continue with our PowerPoint, and let's learn how to unleash your inner designer with Canva.com. So Canva.com is how you get to Canva. So the first time you haven't used Canva, just go to canva.com, punch it into your URL bar. If you've never been there before, you may need to create an account. And the good news is it's freemium, so there is a free account that you can use, as well as a premium one, which you may go to one day when you start wanting all those premium features. So let's just explore what Canva is to start with. So this workshop today will equip you with the knowledge and skills to create visuals using Canva, which is a user-friendly graphic design platform that empowers anyone, regardless of their design experience, to become a designer. Now, Canva itself is an Australian software company that provides a user-friendly graphic design platform that was launched in 2013. And as I mentioned, Canva offers a freemium model, meaning there is a free version that we'll be using today and a paid subscription with more advanced features. So we have the freemium model, which makes it accessible to a wide range of users, from individuals to large companies. It's available as both a web and mobile app for iOS and Android, and it provides flexibility and convenience. And we're going to use the desktop version today because obviously it's the easiest way to teach you when we're sharing through Zoom. Canva's mission is to empower everyone in the world to design, and I am behind that mission. I'm on board. So, a couple more things about Canva. What are the benefits of using Canva? So it's very, very user-friendly. It's incredibly easy to use, even for beginners. It's time-saving, so Canva's pre-designed templates and extensive library of resources help you create visuals quickly. Canva offers a free version, as I mentioned, that does have a wide range of features, and it's a great way to get started. It's incredibly versatile. You can create various designs, from social media graphics to presentations and more. Now, just as a note, the premium version, if any of you are going to be doing a lot of social media posts, the premium version actually has a content planner that lets you create a post and say, yeah, post this Tuesday at 8 a.m. and send it to Facebook and LinkedIn, let's say. So that's just a note in case any of you are heavy social media users, because that is a really great use for Canva. It's the way I use Canva the most, to be honest. It really is. Okay, so let's explore the Canva interface. We're going to look at the home screen, the design templates and design elements, and the whole editor area. So I'm going to stop our share a moment, and I'm going to move over to Canva. So give me a moment to just change my share screen, and we'll move over to Canva. So here's Canva, everyone. Welcome to Canva. And you can see at the top here, we're at canva.com. I'm actually in the template section right now, but canva.com is how you get there. So let's look at our whole environment here. Let's start on the left-hand side. We've got different icons that let us access different parts of Canva. First of all, the screen we all need to know about is the home screen. Clicking on the home button here takes you back to your Canva home screen. And there are many things on our home screen here. We've got a search bar here. We've got our different templates for various different types of artwork, presentations, social media, websites, etc. And if you scroll down, you're actually going to see your recent artwork. You can see a bunch of mine, and also more longer term artwork. Like, here are my business cards that I created in Canva. I absolutely love them. Um, there's a video here, so you can upload videos. And Canva Part 3, if you ever take it, is really focused on the higher end video features, if any of you are interested in that. And it's great for video features. It really, really is. Anyway, let's go back to the left-hand side. So the create button over here on the left is what you click on when you want to start creating artwork. And this lets you do a search for various different types of templates up here. Or you could go specifically to social media here, let's say, and scroll through to find whichever type of social media template you want. But we'll just leave there for a moment. Anytime you're wondering where your work is and you want to go back to it, just click on the projects button, and that just gives you a nice refresh view of all of your recent projects right here. Anytime you want to go back and start working on them, here's one I did for St. Patrick's Day, just a silly one. You just have to click on it and you'll see your artwork and you can start working on it and playing around with it. Notice when you click on it, you get a separate tab that opens up, and when you're done, you can just close that out. And then anytime you want, you can click back on it and go back in to play around and edit. Let's go back to the left-hand side. There's a brand option. Now, if you notice that gold circle with a crown inside, that is telling us that this is a premium feature. So we need to be on our premium subscription to access the brand area. And we're going to deal purely with the free version today. So we won't be accessing that area. We will, however, go and take a look at Canva AI. Let's look at that. This is a very cool image generation tool. So I can give it a prompt. We're going to say an orange kitten playing in the snow. We'll give it a prompt. In the free version, I think you get something like about 20 free prompts a month. I'm just going to click the little go button here, the submit button. And in the premium version, you get unlimited amounts of prompts. Now, it takes a moment to create the artwork and it gives you various different, there we go, adorable, various different versions of it. So let's say you like this one here, you can go into edit if you want. And you can just take a look at it a little further. Um, I can click on this and we can do some resizing, etc. And I'll teach you about this in a moment, but you'll notice that when we're clicked onto a graphic that the graphic editing bar displays. When I click off the photo, it disappears. So anytime you want your editing bar, just make sure you're clicked onto the artwork you want to be clicked onto. Now, I can also just go back and exit out of here. And if I wanted to, I could download this for use somewhere else by clicking on the download button. I could also just click here and I can just say open in editor, and this will open it in our editor where we can actually start playing around and building some artwork. Now, one more thing I want to show you in this is if I go back, I'm going to click on it again. You can actually go and refine this a little more. I always find with these AI image generators, they'll do an okay job the first time, but sometimes when I refine things, they will do something really, really bad. I could, let's say, make the kitten play with a blue ball. And the last time I did something like that, it made the kitten blue. So you gotta take it with a pinch of salt. We'll see what it does. It did a good job. Yay! Okay. I was able to refine it. That makes me happy. The last time I did that, the kitten went bright blue too. Another good thing to know about these images you have available to you is you are licensed to use these images. So anything that Canva AI creates for you, you have no legal issues with using. Canva licenses people to use their AI images. So that's pretty awesome, folks. That is pretty awesome. Okay, a couple more things down here. The app, we've got sections here where we can go. We don't really have enough time in this class to explore everything, but there is an app section I want to point out for you, where there are lots of extra apps that you can use to add functionality to Canva. And it's really worth just scrolling through and looking at the apps and seeing what you might be able to use. So I'm going to just back out of that. And we are going to start creating some artwork now in Canva. And you have to excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cold, so there are some sniffles here sometimes. I have to keep sipping on my hot drink. So let's say we want to create a social media post. I'm going to go back to my home button. And here we are at the home button. Now I want to find a social media template to work on. And there's many ways to do that. More than one way is to swing a cat. Um, I can look at my templates here. I can do a search here, or I can go to create here too. And let's look at approaching this from different angles. If I go to social media, for example, then it will immediately take me to my social media templates. And what I love about this, not just that you can say, oh, give me a template for Facebook, and what it's going to do is give you the exact right size artboard for a Facebook post or a Facebook video, depending on what it is you want to do. And notice how I mouse over this. I get, oh, look at that, 1080 by 1080. That's actually a great size for a Facebook or a LinkedIn post. This one is also connected to video, which means when you go in there, there'll be video functions in there too. Facebook cover, and you'll see the dimensions there, and Facebook post landscape, and Facebook event, etc. Lots of things. I can click on LinkedIn. I do a lot of LinkedIn posts, and again, I get to see the size of my post, etc. And I can pick any one of these items. Now, I could be more specific and say, do a search like a post for a coffee shop, but we're gonna build our own little post here today, guys. So I'm gonna pick the LinkedIn post here, and immediately it gives us an editor, an artboard that we can work on. Um, And that's what this area is called. You can even click on the back here and you get a little bar up here. If you want to like change the background color, I could click on here and I can pick any of these colors here, or I can go to the little color wheel and just pick my own color if I want to. We'll just do like an off-white. Now notice this, when you pick a color, notice the hexadecimal code down here. So in the world of web design and a lot of graphic design these days, colors aren't just defined as, sky blue or grass green. They're actually coded as hexadecimal. So if you're like, oh yeah, I love this slight off white, and maybe I'll use that in my website, take a note of that hexadecimal color uh, code, write it down, copy and paste it somewhere safe, and then you can go and use it on your website too, if you want to. So we're going to start, guys, by bringing in a photograph. And we have a new set of tools now. Some things are the same, but some things are new. Now that we're actually in our editor, now that we have an artboard to work on, we get to see the elements area, which is an area we haven't seen before. So when you click on elements, it's basically an area of kind of pre-made art that you can use in your art. So I could go to shapes, I could go to graphics, I could go to photos, let's say, because we're going to pull up a photo. And I could say, give me a photo of we'll say a cappuccino. We're going to do social media graphic for a coffee shop that's going to open up, an imaginary one. Cappuccino on wooden table, we'll say. Give it a prompt, and we'll have it go search for cappuccinos. And here we are. Now, one thing you can do, notice how we've got the little crown. That means these are all premium. Oh, who has a red cappuccino? That's disgusting. What is that? Sorry, I've never seen that before. I'm going to change my prompt a little. I'm going to say cappuccino. I'm going to say near fireplace. Let's see if I get a better selection. Here we go. Now, again, I've got
What?
premium ones, but that's just going to happen. You can also go to the price area here and say, and determine what price. We only want to see the free ones, let's say. So let's just look at the free ones, and then we'll get a revised selection. So we don't have to worry about picking the premium ones. We can also look at orientation, and I want to have a horizontal one. There we go. So now I'm kind of drilling in my cappuccino near fireplace. I want a free one and I want it to be horizontal. So I love that. We're going to pick this one. That looks like a beautiful cappuccino. If I click on this, it instantly appears on my artboard in my editor area. And then you're ready to start working with it. So first things first, I can pick it up, move it around, put it where I want. I can resize it by going to the corners and clicking and dragging. Let's say we're going to have this on the top of the image, but let's say there's a little too much. Maybe we want to
Mom,
clip
the
it.
printers are a picture rather than picture paper.
Maybe
Hmm?
we want to clip
The
it down
printers
again.
are
Could you
picture
all
paper.
mute your microphones, please? That would be awesome. Thank you. So
Is rather than
one thing I can do is um, crop this. So I can go to my cropping tool here and I can then crop off like a portion. If I'm like, oh, let's make a little bit more room for the text, I'll crop off the bottom a little, pull that out to the sides, and then when I press enter or return, then I've cropped my image to a better size. And I'm going to do that one more time. Just do that. Go to my cropping tool. Oh, I'm already on my cropping tool, I think. Here we go. Yes. So I just pull that down and we'll do one more little crop. There we go. Press return or enter. And it's cropped. Now, other things we can do with this, notice whenever you bring in a graphic, you get this little circle with the little arrows inside. This is where you go if you want to rotate your image, which I actually don't want to do, so I'm going to undo. We've also got a flip option here if you want to flip it like horizontal, have it face the other way, or vertical, have that cup of coffee way upside down. No, thank you. And there we go. We can even put a frame on this, a stroke on this if we want. I can go to stroke style and say, oh, give us a solid stroke. We'll make it 16 point. And there's my stroke. So my graphics framed in. I can even go back to the little color circle here and pick out a color for that. And I want to pick out a color for my image so it really works. Now, it does an amazing job in Canva of sampling the colors in your image when you click on your color circle. So it's already giving me a selection of colors from my image to use. And I can click on this gray brown and you see that goes into my frame. Now, another thing you can do if you want to pick up color from the image is go to your rainbow color wheel here and click on that and go to this little sampler, this little pick a color sampler pen or pencil. And then if you click on the image, you can actually pick up a color from inside the image. So now I've got a brighter color. I'll go back and pick another one with that little pencil, slightly darker one. There we go. So lots of things to do. Just remember, whenever you're looking at working with your photographic image and you don't see this bar at the top, make sure you've clicked onto your image to see it. Now I'm going to back out of photos here. I'm going to click the back arrow and I just want to make you aware of various other items that we can look at here. Pre-made shapes and graphics, forms and tables and all sorts of things. I tend to use the shapes and graphics quite a lot and the photos, to be honest. Sometimes videos are worth looking at too. All these are all licensed for you to use without any issues whatsoever. So it's pretty awesome. So we've got our image here. Now let's add some text. We're going to say Twin Cities Coffee Shop opening April or May 2026. So we're going to add a little text. I'm going to go to my text tool here and I'm going to say add a heading. And it immediately throws some text on my graphic. Now, I find in Canva, for some reason, when it first puts it on there, I can't click on it and move it. But if I click off and go back, then I can click and move it. So the first thing I need to do is put a color on here because this is coming down here and it's going to be invisible because it's white. So let's click on my color wheel and we'll choose a nice brown from the image and we'll bring this down. And we're going to change the text. I'm going to highlight it and say Twin Cities Coffee. Now we've got our text. We're going to go up to Canva here. And this is really where we go to select our different typefaces, our different fonts. So then I can look at all my font selections all the way down here. I can even type in the name of a font if I want to. Let's try this decorative one. Oh, that's very nice. All the seasons. Oh, I like that, but that's in premium, but I do have premium, guys, so I'm lucky. I really like that typeface. I can make the type bigger or smaller. As long as it's selected, I can click on the plus or the minus here. And I can take this text box and oops, move it out to the side. And then you can see this is nicely centered, but you can also go up to the bar here if you want to and change your alignment to left alignment, justified, right align, centered, etc. And other options up here too. We've got B for bold. Of course, I have to have that highlighted. I can take that off. I've got italic, underline, strike through, etc. You get the idea. Now, there are more advanced functions that we're going to look at in part 2, where we'll go more into effects and things like that. But for now, we're going to stick with basic functionality. Now, we're going to add some more text. We're going to say coming April 2026. So I'm going to add a subheading. I'm on my text tool. I'm going to add subheading. Then I can say coming, so this is like going to be a teaser post, coming April 2026. There we go. Now let's change that up a little bit. We're going to put a typeface on there. I'm going to put Poppins. That's what I use quite a lot. Oh, it didn't bring that up. Let me click on my text tool again. Oh, here we go. Poppins. There we go. There we go. Now we're on Poppins. And I'll make that a little bigger. Oh, it's been a little naughty, guys. Hold on. I'm going to delete that. I'll go back on that text there, and we're going to go back to the typeface area, and I'm going to select Poppins. There we go. I'll put a slightly different color on this one. So I'll go to my color area. We'll choose that color. Now I'm going to move this down and space it out a bit. Now notice this text bar has all your text functions on it. The minute I click on your graphic, you're going to see your graphic functionality appear. So this is a dynamic bar. Depending on what you're clicking on, what you're working on, it's going to change. Now let's go back to elements. Let's add a couple of graphics on here. Let's go to graphics, and we're going to see, let's have a gold starburst that we're going to put on here to draw people's attention. So I type in gold starburst. It gives me all sorts of options. Again, you're licensed to use all of these. Some of them are premium, of course, but we'll take a look at that. That looks like oh, that's premium. No, 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 we don't want premium. Here we go. Oh, that's kind of fun. And that one too. Whoa, look at that. All you have to do is to click on it to get it. Oh no, that's premium as well. I'm going to get rid of that. Let's choose some non-premium things. We'll take this one. There we go. Beautiful. I'm going to just size that down. And we are going to, oops, just bear with me while I resize things. I'm going to resize this. There we go. We're just going to draw attention to our post by adding a couple of stars. In fact, I'm just going to take that star, copy it and paste it, get another one, and we'll put it on the other side too. So we're almost done with our post. I just want to show you one more thing. I'm going to click on my photographic image. Something we're really going to dive into next time is altering the images, the contrast, etc. in your images. And I'm just going to give you a little teaser on that right now. We're going to click on the edit button. Oh, I've got this funny message. Okay. It hasn't done that before. All right. Well, don't worry because we're going to do this in part 2. But normally to get that functionality, you click on the edit button, and we've got a little error message here. I think Canva's having some issues today. But that would normally bring up some functionalities for changing contrast, etc. in our image. But we're going to explore that in part 2, and I promise I'll have that fully working for you in part 2. So now we have our post. We're ready to put it on social media. Couple of things you need to know. First of all, you can give this a name. Up here where it says add a heading, I'm just going to say coffee shop post as my heading. Now, if I want to download this and let's say put it in LinkedIn or put it in Facebook or wherever I'm going to use it, all of the downloading and the sharing part of this graphic is under this share button in the top right-hand corner. So I'm going to click on share. And there are many things I can do in this area. And again, as we go on through our classes, we're going to explore it in more depth. But if you just wanted someone else to preview this to say, hey, what do you think of my post? Do you think this is good to go? Any edits? You can just put their email address right up here in this field, and they will get an email that invites, they'll be able to, like, you put an email in, you'll be able to invite them to the team to actually view the graphic, which is pretty cool. You can also click on copy link here, and it will give you a link on your clipboard. And then you can email that to people. Hey, take a look at my post. Let me know if you've got any thoughts, any updates, etc. So many different ways to share. As we scroll down, you're going to see many more options down here, more that we're going to actually explore as we go through our other classes. I'll just preview these to you right now. But the main one that you are going to use is the download one. And we're going to go to download. So let's say you're ready to put this on LinkedIn. You can click on download, and then you get to pick your graphic format for download. Now, when you're dealing with photographic images on the internet, you want to be looking at an image that's saved as a JPEG or a PNG image. Both of those will support the broad color palette of working with photographic images on the web. If you were going to share this with someone as a PDF, you've got PDF standard, which is for electronic distribution, and PDF print if you ever want to go and print this out as well. We also get to do videos here. You can save as a PowerPoint or even a GIF, but a GIF has a very restricted color palette, so this photographic image would be extremely pixelized if we actually chose it. So I'm going to say PNG, and then I'm going to say download, and it gets to work. You can see it down here working away. And when it's ready for you to download, then it's available depending on your browser, in your browser bar, to actually go and grab and download. I'm not going to download that right now. Well, let's say we're done with this. You've posted it or people are reviewing it. We're going to close out of here. And we'll close out of everything. We are going to go back to our PowerPoint because we're going to start some work on logos. So I'm going to share my PowerPoint with you again. And let's go over some basics of logo design. Let's get this rolling. Just going to hop forward a little here. So let's do some logo work, guys. So a few basics of logo design to help guide you as you start working on logos in Canva. So, basics of logo design. A great logo is a crucial element of a brand's identity, and designing one involves a thoughtful blend of art and science. So here are the basics of logo design for you. A simple logo is always easy to recognize, remember, and reproduce across various mediums. Avoid cluttering the design you're working on. If there are too many elements in there or intricate details, it's going to look cluttered. A logo needs to be simple, not a complex illustration. Think of logos like the Nike swoosh or the Apple icon. They're incredibly simple, yet impactful and timeless. So think of some logos you like that are very well known, that have been around forever, and you're going to find they're simple and timeless. Now, memorability, a logo sticks in people's minds and helps them associate it with your brand. Aim for a unique design that stands out from the competition. Consider using strong shapes, distinct photography, or a clever visual plan. A little more on logos, guys. So versatility, your logo should be usable in various sizes and contexts, from business cards to billboards, without losing its clarity or impact. It should also work well in both color and black and white, as well as on different backgrounds. Now, relevance, your logo should be appropriate for your industry, target audience, and brand personality. A playful, cartoonish logo might work for a children's toy store, but not for a law firm. Then let's talk about timelessness too. A timeless logo avoids trendy elements that can quickly look dated. Strive for a design that will remain effective and relevant for years to come. Think of classic logos like Coca-Cola or Ford. They have endured for decades and they're so recognizable. Couple more tips. Do your research. It's always a great place to start. Understand your or your client's business, target audience, and competitors. Just go out there and see what the competitors are doing. Don't copy them. You want something unique, but you can use them for inspiration. It might get the creative juices going. It's okay to sketch out logos on a piece of paper too ahead of time. Remember, a strong concept will guide the design and make it more meaningful. And get feedback. So most bigger agencies, they'll have a focus group when they've done a logo, and they'll get feedback from a focus group. You don't have a focus group, but use your peer network. Ask your family, ask your friends, ask your colleagues what they think of your logo. You're going to find it so interesting. You get different feedback from everyone, and different people like different logos. And it can really help you guide your final choice. So by following these basics, you can create a logo that effectively represents your brand and helps it stand out in the marketplace. So we're going to pivot back to Canva now, and we're going to do logo design. So let me just arrange my screen a little here. So we want to, and again, various different ways to do things. I could go into the search bar and say coffee shop logo, just like that, and do a search. And that's all there is to it, guys. Look at all these coffee shop logos it's giving us. They're all fabulous. They're all excellent. It just makes life so easy. Now we want to choose one without a crown. I don't know if we can say free here, but no, I don't think we can. Let's go to filters. Sometimes in the filters you get an option. Now I don't think we have an option to look at only the free ones. So we're going to ignore the ones with the crown on, and we're going to pick one um, that we like that doesn't have a crown on it, and we'll go in and we'll edit it. So let's take a look. This one's a little complex. Let's use this. I'm going to click on this one. I mean, we don't want it too complex because it's a logo, but it will also enable me to show you some editing features. So I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to say, yeah, we want to customize this template. So I'm going to click on customize this template, and that takes us into the editor, and we can start working on this. So now I could change this to Twin Cities just by highlighting it and typing. I'm just going to say bottom here, Twin Cities Coffee Shop. And it automatically put it back on that circle, which is nice. Now, this is a little bit of a problem. The color of the text is the same color as the coffee bean. Um, yeah, so I'm going to change the text color. I'm going to click on it and go to my color area here and change that slightly. And then you can distinguish the text from the coffee bean. Now, the coffee bean is getting in the way a bit, so let's just move that. We can put it somewhere else, or we can just delete it if we want to. Now, with our text, again, we can mess around. We can change the size, make it bigger, make it smaller, make it bold, etc. We can change the typeface. It's kind of a fun typeface, that scripter, though. I think I'll leave it. We can go to these little bits of steam coming out the coffee here. Let's see. And oh, it wants to crop it. Sometimes some of these graphics, not all of them, will actually let you go in and change a color. So I think here, if I click on this brown, this dark brown here, I can go into my color wheel and make it even darker. We'll make it like and you see how that changes in my graphic? So what it's done is I've got my graphic selected, it's picked out the 4 colors in the graphic, and it's letting me edit them individually. So then I could go to this color, and I could go to my wheel here, and I can make this lighter. And you get the idea. Maybe we'll make the coffee cup a little darker. That's the cream color, the interior of the coffee cup. Ooh, that's a little scary. Don't like that. You get the idea. So all you really have to do is go pick your logo, go in and edit it till it looks how you want it to look. And then you're ready to actually go to share and go to download. And this one, again, PNG would work, JPEG would work. This would actually work as a GIF because it has a very, very small color palette. As I say, GIFs for more illustrative images such as logos, but never choose a GIF if you've got a gradation or photographic artwork in there. And again, we've got our PDF options if you want to circulate it with PDF, which is awesome. So making a logo is so easy. Now I've got my logo tab open, guys. I'm going to close it. Notice, and then I'll close this area. And I'm going to go back to my home screen or my projects, let's say. what you're going to see then is that the logo and the other artwork you've been working on is then available in your projects area, and you can then go and click on it and go back and start working on it again. Okay, couple more things. I'm going to stop the screen share. Let's talk quickly about web design. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. And we're going to go through some basics of Canva for web design because there are built-in website templates in Canva, which are pretty awesome. So Canva can be used to create a simple, visually appealing website or websites. It's well suited for a one-page website and landing pages, but can also be used to create multi-page websites. However, it may have limitations for more complex websites that require advanced features. So simple websites is really good. It's where it's at. And that's always a good starting place, by the way. It's okay to have phase one website, which is simple, and phase two, where you get a little more in-depth, a little more advanced. So Canva offers customizable templates and design elements specifically for web design. Now, Canva is a cost-effective solution for website design, providing a range of features and resources at affordable prices. This makes it particularly attractive for beginners and small businesses. Now, publishing a Canva website, once we've made it, you can publish a Canva website. It's essentially delivered in HTML. So it's HTML code behind it. Canva translates your design elements, text, images, layouts into HTML code when you publish your website. And this includes hyperlinks. When you publish the website as HTML, you have to publish it to a Canva subdomain, which is awesome. They provide you with your own domain to temporarily host it on, and you can then connect it to your own domain later on when you're ready. So when you publish a Canva website, it generates a unique URL on Canva's servers, and you don't get the underlying HTML code to copy and paste, but I'll show you a workaround. You can publish the website and then right click on it and save as HTML code, and then use that code to bring into a different website builder to use with your own custom domain or to just do more advanced features in a more advanced website builder. So it's a very cost-effective solution for website design, providing a range of features and resources at very affordable prices. This makes it particularly attractive for beginners and small businesses. So let's get going and do a little web design, guys. I'm going to share my screen again. Here we go. Now this time we're going to do, let's just see, sometimes I'll try the search bar to see if I can find. I'm going to say website template for a hotel. And here we go. It just brings those all on. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. All these different possible websites. Let's go to this first one here. Oh no, they put that in premium. That used to be free, guys. No, I always download it. Oh, we'll try this one. This is free. So I'm going to click on this one. Well, they changed that one. They're very naughty. And I'm going to say customize this template. And here we have a website for the Well Hall Resort and Spa Hotel. I'm going to scroll down. We've got lots of text and graphics, etc. Now I can start playing around and changing this. I can call it, we'll call this resort the Luxe Resort and Spa Hotel. I can go to my little button here if I want. And if I click on my text, see how I get a hyperlink option? So this is how I add a hyperlink. I can just highlight my text, click on hyperlink, and I could type my hyperlink in there, whatever that is. Let's scroll down a little. We can go in and edit the text. We'll just say, welcome to your Luxe stay, your Luxe home away from home. You can go in here and edit this text if you want. You can even go and find different graphics. So I could go back to elements and I'm going to go to photos here, and I'm going to ask for a spa photo. Here we get our spa photos. Now we want the free ones, guys. So I'm going to go to price and say free. There we go. And then we get all these different photos. Again, they're licensed for you to use. We can scroll through them. pick what we want. I kind of like the atmosphere of this one. I'm going to click on this one. And what I'm going to do is crop it. We don't want all of it. So I'm clicking on my cropping tool and I'm going to grab the corners and just make it a little smaller. We'll cut off the left side of it. And when I'm done, I can just press return or enter and it changes it. Then I can take this graphic out by clicking on it and pressing delete, and then I can put my own graphic in. So the basic idea here is you just kind of go through swapping out your text and graphics. Anytime you've got text here, you can add a hyperlink to have it linked somewhere else in the website or out to a different website as well. And you go through and you edit the whole website till you've got it how you want. Now, at that point, you can go to your preview option up here, top right. I can click on preview. And here's how my website's going to look with my changes in it. This is how it's going to look on desktop. This is how it's going to look on mobile. If I click on the little mobile button. Very important to check it out how it will look on mobile. You may have to make adjustments. Don't forget, most people, the majority of people actually surf the web on mobile devices. So we always want to make sure the website looks good. If we like it, we can then go to publish website up here. And I can click on publish website. And then I'll click on publish down here at the bottom. And we'll send it off to work. And you see it's preparing our design. And now we can actually view it. We can view our website. We can customize our domain. So I'll say view website. And here it is. Here's the website. Now, if you decide, oh, I'm going to take this into another website app or development platform because you want to do more to it, then once it's published, you can right click on it and do save as. And then you can just save it as a web page, or what I do is save it as HTML. Then you get pure code that you can import into another website if you want to. So that is pretty cool. I'm going to show you one more quick thing while we're in here. I just want to touch on business cards. So let's ask for a coffee shop business card template. And look at that. Already we've got all these amazing templates we can work with. And if there's one that's not premium, look for one that's not premium that we'll go in and play around with. We will go to this one here. Oh no, it's premium. How dare it? Okay, this one's not premium. This one's not premium. I'll click on here. And I can say, let me just move my bar a bit. Click on customize template. And then I get to go in. I could copy and paste the logo we designed right in here. And I can start putting like my own name in here. My name's too long, so I'm just gonna pull that out. And I'll just say, what am I? I'm a barista. Just move that over a bit. I could change this to Twin Cities here. So you get the idea. You copy and paste your logo in, you change your type, you change your contact information. I've got to move my zoom bar here. Always make sure they're like the type on a business card. This type comes in at like 7 points, and that's too small for a business card. I would say as a minimum 10 or 11 should be your font size on a business card. So do watch out for that and adjust accordingly. You get this little red area. See how when I make that bigger, it's telling me I'm going to go outside of print margins possibly. So what I'm going to do is just highlight, nope, not that. I'm going to click on all these elements. I'm holding down my shift key while I do it, and I'm just going to move them with my arrow key all over to the left. And that way, when I adjust this, I'm going to have room without going into the red print margin. So you get the idea. Just go in, change your font size. You can change your font if you want. Get everything looking good. Now, when you're ready to actually make this into a business card, you've got built-in print functionality inside of Canva that I love. So if you look here on the right, And some business card templates come with a front and a back. This just has a front. But then you can say, I want to print this. I'm going to choose deluxe paper with a matte finish and square corners. And I'd like 100 business cards, please. And it's only $55, guys. It's amazing. And I use this for my business cards. This is tried and tested and true. And these business cards will arrive in like 4 to 5 days. Absolutely beautiful. You just press continue. And it's catching that this text is 7 point, so it wants me to increase the size. So it does this final check for you, which is good because we would have done that anyway if we were seriously printing this. And it's going to do the same for this. So I'm going to bump this up because we do not want tiny text that's not readable on a business card. There we go. It's probably going to say, yeah, this is, oh, that's too tiny too. So again, you get the idea. You go through. We're running short on time, so I'm not going to edit everything. But you increase the size of everything, make sure it's looking good. Then you go to checkout, and there it is. You've got your address. You pick your delivery options, your credit card. You place your order, and by some kind of miracle, it will arrive. And it's beautiful. It looks like I've got 2 items in my shopping basket too. So let's go back, guys. We're going to go to close that out, and we're going to go and stop the share. And it's time to go to Q&A. So let's look. Hi, Tina. I see you there. Said you're working on a new business card now. Yay, good for you. Good to see you, Tina. Good to see you, Linda, too. Linda Mealy Lohman. Got some people I know here. This is wonderful. Hey. Um, Linda says, can you create folders for various subjects and then move projects into specific folders to group projects by subject? Pretty sure you can. Let's just do a little test on that. Oh, that's my PowerPoint, guys. We don't want that. We want Canva. I've never tried this, Linda, but I'm prepared to give it a little try. Now I'm going to go to projects. And let's see if I go to plus. Yeah, I can add a new folder, top right-hand corner here. So I could do new folder. And this could be my cat folder because I've got this cat graphics. There we go. I can say who has access by putting their email address in. And it's created. Here it is. So I'm assuming I can just pick this up and drag it in. Yes, I can. Good organization. It still shows it here because this is recent stuff, but you can find everything in your cat folder by clicking on it and going forward. So yeah, good question. Very good question. Okay, Elizabeth, can you delete recent projects that you really do not want to keep? Yes, you can. If I go back in there, so let's just go back to our projects. And if I go to my project and go to these little stars, top right-hand corner, I can then, hold on, I'm going to move my window here. I can then do move to trash and just get rid of that. So that is an easy one. Let's stop that share a moment. And what is the best size for business cards? There's kind of a standard business card start size in the US, which is 3.5 by 2 inches. So that is your standard size. So 3.5 by 2 inches is the standard business card size in the United States. And you're going to find most of those templates in Canva are 3.5 by 2 inches. However, people do like to get creative and like have a square card or something like that. And that's okay too. It's just the standard is 3.5 by 2 inches. It says, is there a template for a trifold brochure? That is Lisa. Let's take a look, Lisa. Let's go back in. Let's type in trifold brochure. Oops. It could be under there under like different language. Yeah, I didn't find that. How about brochure template? And it's being a little odd. I'm going to just, sometimes it does this, like it'll get stuck in a little funk and I'll just refresh my screen and go back in and let's just say again. And it may be that it has a different title in here, like it could be called a flyer. So if I put flyer in, and then we get to see, oh, you know what? It's searching my projects too, just my projects. So let's just go to home and open it up, and then we'll try a brochure template. What's not bringing, I know there's more in there, guys. Oh, this is a problem. I'm clicked on your designs. We need to go to templates at the top. That was the problem. So I'm clicking on templates. I'm going to say try. If we don't find it this time, we'll just do brochure. There we go. So that was you needed to be on templates, not your designs. And so here we have it. Yeah, we've got loads. And this is the beauty of Canva, guys. The template library is extensive. So you could go to any of these that you wanted to, you know, without a crown on, if you're not in premium. And we could click on, there's a coffee shop one. Let's go here. We'll click on that one. I could say customize this template. And then I could start going in and playing around with all the different parts. So yes, we have an extensive library of templates um, inside of Canva. Um, and okay, good. Um, Julian says, if I'm creating a slide deck, can I get feedback or suggestions from Canva AI? You can get feedback or suggestions from any AI. I've done that a lot using ChatGPT and Gemini. The Canva AI, if I look at that, um, let me just do a little research on how sophisticated that is. Hold on. I'm actually just going to ask Gemini quickly. Just bear with me here. And it's thinking away. We'll just be patient. So it doesn't have a big critique option. But it will look at things and flag them if they're not like ADA compliant with typography and color contrast. Um, and it also has Magic Write in it, which will actually write. It's got a writing tool in it. Um, what I would say to you with that question, that was Julian, right? Was that Julian? I've lost. Is I have actually done this using Gemini and ChatGPT. I've thrown a slide deck in and asked it to give me feedback on how accurate all my material is in case it can, or find a grammar error. And it does an amazing job. It'll do a slide by slide feedback. So whilst the AI is not sophisticated enough inside Canva, I would say use ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, something like that, and you'll get excellent results. I have had excellent results that way. I really have. Gosh, we have so many questions. I want to be careful not to miss them. Um, it says, can you use your own photo for an image rather than providing images? Yes, let me show you Canva. That's a great question. If you want to bring in your own photography in Canva, so let me just go into a project here. I'll just open up this and say let's say I want to bring my own photograph of a cappuccino in. All I'd have to do is go to the file menu and to upload files. And make sure it's like, a format like JPEG, PNG, or GIF, or some regularly recognized format. You go to upload files It will upload the file. Now, when it has finished uploading it, it comes into this little upload area here. So you can click on uploads and you can see I've got some of my own photographs that I was using for a LinkedIn post. And all you have to do is literally click on one of them and then it will come onto your image and you can use it. So absolutely, you can upload your own images. Great question. Um, so good. Okay. It says, so Julian says, hi, thanks for the lessons. Can I create AI photos in Canva to use as logos or on my business cards? Absolutely. Yes, you can. No problem there. They're licensed for you to use. Rachel says, if I'm creating a slide deck, can I get feedback or suggestions from, oh, we looked at that already. Not so good, but do put that in ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, and you'll get great results. It says, well, the 20 AI search limitation month, does it apply to all areas or just the initial project area? You also did AI search and social media, wondering if all searches apply. I'm going to have to look that up for you because that is very specific to the plan. Hold on. We'll just give it a moment. Just bear with me while it takes a moment to think, because that's a very plan specific thing. Yeah, it'll come back to us in a moment. Yep, so it shares monthly allowance with the Magic Writer. So you're seeing 20 per month. That's the cap um for most of their AI, it looks like. Um yeah, it's a pooled system. You get actually in no, I'm just reading about the plan, just one moment. Yeah, so everything's kind of lumped into one thing, it looks like. But the minute you get premium, all that disappears, guys. Um, and you have unlimited. And premium's not much. I think it's only about $15 a month, something like that. It says, is there an undo or do you just backspace? Yes, you can just do Command Z or Control Z to undo. That is no issue. So what are your fave fonts to use? I like handwriting ones. Yeah, it depends what I'm doing, Tina. My fonts are always very much related to my artwork, and I always try and make them relevant to whatever artwork I'm generating. So that's kind of a broad question, but I do like scripted ones, and of course, like you. Um, okay, Jim, how do you create multi-page newsletters? Oh my goodness, Jim, that's a big question and we're running over. No, okay. I'm going to go back into Canva. Well, look at what newsletter templates they have. Um, I'm just going to go up here and say newsletter template. And then we've got, oh, I think it's just, oh, it's searching my projects again. We got to get it out of projects. Let's just go home, go to templates, and we'll say newsletter templates or template. Here we go. Now, I'm not, and it looks like if I roll over these, you see how this says 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4. So when you roll over them, you'll see whether this is a single page or a multi-page template. So if I go to this one, which has multi-pages, you can go in, customize the template, and then you'll get all the pages that it offers you to go in and customize and actually work on. You can even add a page if you want to. And I'm pretty sure you could go in and actually hide a page too if you wanted to get rid of it. So yes, we can do that. Good stuff. Okay, Can Canva be used instead of constant contact? Lisa, what are you using constant contact for?
I use can you hear me?
Yes.
I use Constant Contact to create newsletters.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yes, you can
Okay.
use it. Absolutely. Yes, it
Awesome.
can. It
Fantastic.
can. And
Thank you.
they're great templates too.
Yeah,
Um,
and less expensive. Constant Contact gets up there a bit.
yes, yes. So Linda, hi Linda, says, how do you create your own Zoom background? Blue with Keer Keer Creative is in the back. Very nice. You know, Linda, I actually created that in, thank you, by the way. I created that in Photoshop or Illustrator. But you could just as well do that inside of Canva. Um, like first of all, the first thing you want to look up before you do that is what is the size? Oops, I'm going to type this up. What is the size of a Zoom background? That's the first piece of information you need. And we're going to get that from AI. And it's going to think again. So you need to, first of all, create some artwork that is 1920 by 1080 pixels. That is the size of a Zoom background. And then you'd want to go and we'll just close that out. You'd want to go and create some new artwork and go to custom size down here. And then you could say, I can't remember, that was it 1920 by, tell me if you remember that second one, I've forgotten it.
1080.
Thank you, 1080, thank you. And then we can say, create a new design, and it's going to give us an artboard just that size. And then I can like click on the background, for example, and I can change my color, put that blue in there. And then I could go to, well, I've uploaded my logo before, so I'm going to go to uploads. And I know I have a logo in here somewhere. There we go. Kiko created. And there we have it, Linda. There's your Zoom background right there. Done live. And all you have to do is then
Oh,
share that as a download it as a JPEG or PNG, or actually a GIF would work because it's really simple artwork. Okay. Yeah. You're welcome, everyone. Well, we've run over, guys. We've got to call it a day now because you will have to get back, and I'm sure Liz has to get back to work too. Liz, any final thoughts? Yes, it is
Um,
fantastic, Lisa. I agree. It's an amazing program. It really is. Sorry, Liz, go on.
oh, that's okay. Just a reminder, I'll be sending emails to everybody with the link to the recording that you'll have access to for 2 weeks. And don't forget to sign up for Canva 2 next Thursday at 1 o'clock, and I'll put the link to that sign up sheet on the email as well. So, and thank you so much, Jane. This was really awesome. I learned so much today.
Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. It's a great software. It really is. It lets us all create good artwork. Yeah,
mhm.
really, really easily. Empowering the masses to do good design. Oh, thank you, Tina. Love the heart. All right, everyone. Hopefully, I'll see you in part 2 next week. Bye, Tina. Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming. See you soon. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Well, thanks, everyone. Oh, you made my day. Thank you. Oh, look, Chris is giving me like celebrations. Okay. Oh, now I can't go because you're all being so nice. All right, everyone. We're gonna go. Thank you. Bye, everyone.